What's going on, everybody? This is Jaden with APPL, and in this video we're going to be checking out the camera comparison between the iPhone XR and the iPhone XS. First off, we're going to take a look at the physical cameras on the phones, and then we're going to go through the camera app just to see some of the differences between the two phones, and then we'll also do some side-by-side comparisons of pictures that I've taken on the XR and pictures that I've taken on the XS. So let's get into that.
So right off the bat, here we have our iPhone XR in blue, and we have the black iPhone XS. And like I said, we're going to be doing a comparison between the camera and the camera features that come on both of these phones. As you can see already, the iPhone XS has a dual camera and the iPhone XR has a single camera. So that actually does make a difference, and you'll see some of these differences in the in the picture quality when we start going through side-by-side pictures. So we're going to jump into the camera app for these two phones, and right off the bat, I already see that the colors look a little different. I'm not sure if that's because the screens on these phones, because the XS has an OLED and the XR has an LCD screen. So maybe that's the difference, I'm not sure. But let's go through some of the differences in the options at the bottom. So if I go to time lapse, pretty much that's the same. Your slow-mo is the same. Your video, 60 frames per second, is the same. Photos, that seems to be the same. The portrait camera, let's continue. Now in portrait, notice that this one only has, the XR does not have as many features as the XS does. Now I'm not exactly sure why that is. I mean, I'm sure it's been designed that way, but maybe I have to go through some of these and figure out exactly what is different on these two devices. So that is just something to note, that you don't have as many portrait features in the XR that you do the XS. Moving on to the square, we have the normal square, which is good for Instagram, and then you have panoramic. So that's pretty much it for the camera app. So let's go ahead and get into some of the actual picture qualities and some examples of things that I've taken with both these phones.
So let's go ahead and take a look at the pictures that I took with both of these phones. I'm going to put them side by side and let's compare the two. So the picture on the left is the iPhone XR and the picture on the right is the iPhone XS. So just off the bat, I don't really notice much of a difference between these two phones. I'm sorry, the pictures from these two phones. Now I do notice that the background on the XR, the bricks, in my opinion, look better than the XS, but as you see, we're going to go through some more pictures and you'll be able to tell some of the differences between the detail of the phone. But overall, I don't really think there's a difference. Like I said, let me know what you think in the comment section below as we go through some of these pictures. So I zoomed into these pictures a little more, and now I can start seeing the difference between the XR and the XS. I do feel like the XS is better. Let me know what you think in the comments, but I do think the XS is better when it comes to zooming into the picture. So yeah, that'll be a difference right there. So moving on to the next picture. Looking at these, I really don't see a difference yet again. I actually think that the color saturation just off the phone, these are unedited pictures, is better on the XR in this picture. And it may be because of, I don't even know why, but anyway, I feel like the colors are deeper on the XR than they are on the XS. Now, let me go ahead and zoom into these pictures. This time, I don't really notice much of a difference like I did the last picture with the points on the leaves. All of the ripples and how these leaves are dried up, all of those different details look the same to me. Now I do notice a difference actually in the background. If you look at the green leaves, like the piney leaves in the background, maybe right here at the bottom, that is more sharp on the, or sharper on the 10S. Yeah, because when you look over here at the 10R, it does lose that detail. So again, I guess you're gonna get better picture quality in my opinion so far in the 10S, which I guess is expected since it's a more expensive phone. So, but that's the difference right there. So here we have the portrait mode on both iPhones, and I think the blur is a little more intense on the 10R, and that may be because I might have had it turned up more. I'm not sure if I really checked those settings to make sure they were the exact same, but mainly what I'm looking at is the detection between the subject, which is me looking busted, and the background, which is the house. So as you can see, I think both of these phones actually did a good job. When you take a look from a, look at it from a glance like this, I feel like my pores are a little more distinct on the 10R actually. And my scruff that I have going on actually looks pretty good on both phones. So let me zoom in. So I zoomed into my mouth area just because I feel like there's more to distinguish detail in this, since you have my beard and my nose, stuff like that. So off the bat, in my opinion, I don't see much of a difference between these two phones. Let me know what you think again. Now, the more I look at it side by side, if you look at my lips, the cracks, or whatever these are, wrinkles, those wrinkles in my bottom lip, they are more distinguished in the 10S than it is a 10R. So again, there's a pattern being formed that the 10S is gonna take more detailed pictures, especially when you're zooming in, than the 10R. But overall, like I said, I don't see much of a difference unless you're into photography like that. So let me know what you think. So I recorded some 4K 60 frame per second video on both of these phones of the same subject or objects, whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna run the 10R first, and then I'll switch over to the 10S. And let me know if you see any differences between the two. So looking at those two videos, I think both of them, these cameras are very good. I feel like they do compare to each other. Overall, especially when you're looking at it on a phone, you're probably not gonna notice much of a difference, but when you look at it on a bigger scale, because I have it on my iMac, I do notice yet again that the details in the leaves, the sharpness of the small leaves up here, is better on the 10S. So, like I said, you're compromising with the price of the 10R, but overall the cameras still are good and the 4K video still looks great. So that's my camera comparison between the iPhone 10R and the iPhone 10S. Let me know what you think about the pictures in the comment section below. Maybe you think one takes better than the other, and maybe you don't see a difference at all. So let me know in the comment section below what you prefer. Also, I'm going to be doing a comparison between these two phones, a little more in depth, like the usability of the phone, you know, the speed of the phone, the difference in the screen, because there are differences in the screens. So stay tuned for that. Matter of fact, I'm going to put that in the link up here. So click on that, check that out, give this video a like, subscribe to my channel so you can learn how to Apple without the email.